I'm just showing up. I'm just showing up. We
We
can.
are live. Mona's just showing the ebook for the 30-day blitz.
Yes, we have an ebook out there. I hope a lot of people pick this up actually over the weekend. I'm so happy. We
Did
got
you see
so many
Icon
people.
did a big blast on their email?
They did, yeah, right?
They did.
Thank you, Icon. Thank you, Icon. I'm
Big shout
actually
out.
really proud.
Icon, thank you so much. We are back. It is Titan Tuesday, and that means we have the master blaster himself, Big Johnny, the CEO of Titan
Yes, sir.
Medical. And I'm representing some of the merch over at Titan Medical. And let me just say right off the bat, this is very comfortable.
It
Um,
looks comfortable.
it,
I might sleep in that.
yeah, this is one of those. I don't think I can bench in this. I think I'd slide right off.
That's
It's,
silky smooth, huh?
it's silky smooth and soft. I don't think I want to train it. I don't want to wreck this thing. Slide right off.
I got some nice sweatsuits coming your way too, so wait till you get them. You're gonna love them.
Style and dogs. So those are my two favorite things. Style,
Yep.
I will get from you and Mona, and the dogs,
Yep.
I have it.
Yeah, that's all right.
Um, this is great. Today, I sent over, if you guys are new to this platform, what I did was I have a group called the Titan Crew, and I really try to coach these individuals that are committed with sweat equity. It's free to those that subscribe to my training and nutrition.
That's right. You heard that, guy? So don't ask me during this live how you get into the Titan group, because that's what happens.
So, one thing I get to do is I get to work with these people that are really focused on taking care of their health, and we have some of their blood works, and we're gonna talk to you about how we can optimize their health to the very best of their ability. And the range of ages we have today are great because we have a guy who's a young pup in his early 30s. We have a guy in his 50s, and then we have one of my favorite Titan crew members, Mary, who's with us today. And I think we're going to start out with Mary because she is one of these people that is loyal to the commitment to make herself better. And Johnny, her question was she just got prescribed testosterone
Okay.
and NAD
Okay.
is a couple of the things that she was prescribed, and she did her first testosterone shot, and she would like to know a feedback on when will she notice a change.
The difference in her body and everything.
Yeah.
When will she feel better? I guess is her question, because again, I think her hormones have been a roller coaster. Be a
For
nice
quite a
term.
bit. Yeah, and then just for everybody to understand, Mary is not a competitor. Okay, she is a woman in her say late 40s, early 50s. Mary, you look good, so I can't even tell how old you are. But she's just doing this solely because she's been having problems with her hormones, and she is definitely giving it a try. However, I just want everybody to understand where we at with Mary.
That's
And
a good point.
yeah,
That's a
and
good point because I say she's doing testosterone.
yeah,
People are going to
everybody's
say,
gonna think,
"What
oh,
is
she's
she
on
competing or
stage.
something?" It's like, wow,
No,
you guys are so
no,
removed from
no, no,
reality.
no, no. She's absolutely not a competitor, never competed. She does work out. She's been having some health issues over the past year. And now finally, the doctor told her she needs to be on testosterone because her hormones and her test was really low. However, she decided to start. She did a first injection, and now she's just wondering, John, how long does it take, like Mike said, until she feels better?
I
Is it
mean,
2 weeks, a month?
yeah, testosterone. I mean, it's gonna have an ester. Usually, it's cypionate. They're giving women still. Now you gotta make sure you do not overdose yourself on testosterone, and it's real easy to do too because some pharmacies will still give you the 200 milligrams per ml, and if you try to get 5 milligrams out of that, I mean, it's like barely on an insulin syringe would even see or even be able to inject. Some do it 5 milligrams per ml. They're making them for women directly, so you got to see which one that is. If even on that one, you want to make sure that you're getting the right dose and you're not overdosing on it. But you should feel better within a week or two. I
Oh,
would
wow.
say. I mean, yeah, usually the ester is like 3 to 4 days. 5 days kick in. I mean, so she should be hitting that peak range probably within 5 to 7 days, and at that point she should start feeling better through the month. But like I said, retest and make sure you're retesting like 3 to 4 days in after your injection or how your provider wants you to. It's not up to me, I guess, but I would
This
do
is
that.
actually this is a Titan um,
First time
medical.
patient.
Yeah, yeah. Mary is.
Oh,
Yeah, she came right over with me. She came right over
golden.
with me to you guys. And here's a side note. I had her somewhere else.
Yeah,
One second. We had her somewhere else, and they loaded her up, and her
gotcha,
hormones got worse.
gotcha.
And so it was a nice. It was like, okay, kid, whoa, this is not.
Yeah,
And she said she's felt the best, and she's already started with you guys, I think, a month or
yeah,
two. But this
Months.
next level is
Yeah.
the testosterone. So she's
yeah,
actually right with you guys. She's 50.
yeah.
There she is
Awesome.
right
So
there.
Mary,
Hi,
yeah. So
Mary.
you should start within 2 weeks or so. They usually say a month here, but 2 weeks you should start feeling better, and then that should start getting better all the way around. If you are starting, if you don't feel as good as you think you should, or you feel like something's off, then that means you can contact us directly. Call or text us and just tell the staff what's going on. We'll triage it with the provider, make sure you're all good to go.
I
Sometimes some
like
of these
that.
different things need to be tweaked, right? So we want to make sure we dial you in. And once we get you dialed in, you're going to be perfect. But the best thing to do is be honest with us, tell us what's going on, and let us, make sure we direct you in the right way and get you dialed in. And like I said, once you're dialed in, you should be good to go and you should be feeling amazing. And remember, it doesn't take a whole bunch. It's quality over quantity and making sure that you're getting the right dose, not just overdosing on a whole bunch of different medications.
I love that. I love the retest.
Yes.
You
Well,
know,
I love the
I'm all
fact
about
that
that.
they are available on the call if she needs to talk to them. Like she could just literally
Yeah.
call Titan Medical, get her provider on the phone,
Yeah.
and she doesn't have, all the other companies. I remember it was through email; they wouldn't even talk to you.
Yeah.
So that's actually really, really good to have that option.
Absolutely.
I love
Live
that.
person, call or text. Even if you're on the go or you can't talk, you can text us and we'll text you back.
I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
Let's go for another one of these bad boys. You have an older gentleman from me over there on the paperwork, and
Yep.
we spoke about this one a while back. Uh, his testosterone is phenomenal.
Yep.
It's phenomenal for a 20-year-old, but this guy's in his 50s.
Yep.
And so it's another one of these Clark Bartram guys that are it's incredible. But I've noticed with a lot of these guys that have this huge testosterone level, even at my age,
Hmm.
their free testosterone is in the gutter.
Like nothing.
Hmm.
And I think you can see that there well as that it is not even really performing even in the middle of the range. Do you see that?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I mean,
So
it's total testosterone at that level. If it is natural, 1,061 is higher than the reference range, which is
right,
awesome.
it's
Because
crazy,
that's what
Well,
people
well,
pay for
right?
and don't even get sometimes. From the regular doctor, whatever it is. So having that number is amazing. So at that point, you should be very proud of that. The free testosterone, like we talked about, like before, this needs to be optimal too as well. And by a general practitioner's read of this lab, he's going to be within normal range. So there's nothing wrong to a general practitioner.
What was
Now he's
his
probably not.
free testosterone?
His free testosterone's at 8.1, and the reference range is 7.2 to 24. So he's at the bottom barrel, but he's normal. He's just on the low normal side. So you want to optimize this one way, shape, or form. Now, I can optimize this. We could optimize this in one way by taking Danazol.
Can I ask
It's
a
going to
question
release
before
free
we
testosterone.
fix it?
Sure.
Can I ask a question? Why would this be? And why is this with somebody in my age range? Their T levels are very, very great, but their free testosterone seems like it's always in the gutter in that sense.
Yeah.
Why is there a commonality to this? Is it just age? Is it just one of those things?
I mean, it's age, but it's dependent on the person too. I mean, what they've went through, environment, food intake. I mean, all these different things they're going to play a role in how somebody is aging and how their hormones are declining, because they're going to decline one way, shape, or form. I don't care who they
Right.
are. As they get older, it's going to happen. It's just, at this level, like his total testosterone looks like it's awesome, but free doesn't. So I mean, this could be an age thing. I
Because
mean,
the
whatever
guys
he's
that we're
doing
speaking about,
supplementation wise.
these guys that we're speaking about eat well. They
Yeah.
exercise. They really live the lifestyle, that Titan mentality lifestyle. But
Yeah.
still, something's off. And I think when we talk to these people, they're like, "Oh, I'm great. I'm doing so good." And then you see the numbers and you realize they may feel good for them, but
Right.
there's something off still.
Right. They're not optimal. This
So
could be optimized for sure. Now, the other thing I looked at was the FSH and the LH. So the follicle stimulating hormone, the luteinizing hormone. So those are both middle of the road. I mean, to a certain degree. You could bump those up possibly, and that could possibly create more testosterone, which create more free testosterone too as well. I mean, there's some different treatments you could do there for them, but I mean, I like I said, it'd have to be environment, age, genetics. I mean, all these things play a pivotal role in what those numbers are going to be, and at that point, nobody's ever the same. So what's this guy might be doing and where his numbers are at might be different than what me and you are doing and what our numbers are at.
yeah, fully agree. I definitely this cat here is living the lifestyle, and I see the effort he puts in is not reaping the reward that he could even at this stage of the game. And I don't want him to continue to push like he's doing with his numbers like they are. My
Yeah.
recommendation will be what you tell me you think he
Yeah.
should do to
Yeah.
optimize his health.
Yeah. I mean, listen, for his age, and I don't like to even say that, just to be in general, like this person, you have good health. But for his age, those numbers are unseen. Total testosterone, I'm telling you, you ask most 50-year-olds and they go in for a blood test, what I've seen in blood tests, and I've never seen that number on a blood test for a 50-year-old. I've seen a 56-year-old like at 800, and I was impressed by that.
Yeah.
But his free wasn't that good either. I remember it was a little bit above the range, but it wasn't optimal. So I mean, it have to be something else. But everything else on his blood test looks really, really good. I mean, to a certain degree. I mean, there's a little bit of tweaks here or there you can make, but you could tell he lives a healthy lifestyle. Let's put it that way through his blood work. I mean, even his kidney functions, they look pretty good. His glucose was a couple points off, but I mean, that's his fasting glucose. And his hemoglobin A1C was a 5.0, which is great. It's better than mine. So I mean, he's definitely got his things together. I mean, if he wants to optimize that level, there might be a couple workarounds that you do, but do you really want to ruin that total testosterone level? Or if that comes down and you get a higher free, will we be happy with that? That's some people are stuck on the number. Some people are just stuck on the way they feel.
Couldn't
And it should be
we couldn't
both.
we bring up his with peptides of some sort and a schedule of some things that you think would help boost up that free testosterone without going and hurting his regular testosterone?
So the usual remedy that we usually use for free testosterone is danazol, and it will work immediately. It will boost that up to 50. I mean, that's how potent it is and how fast it works. The problem is that it could ruin that number of that total testosterone. So that's always it's it might happen, might not. So there's a risk there. Now the other way that you could possibly do it is you could take FSH injectable, raise that FSH up, produce more testosterone, which will possibly produce more free testosterone and will not harm your total testosterone. So it's not going to plummet your range. That's the only workaround that I would see that might work. I mean, other than that, free testosterone, it's tough. Usually when you have a good total testosterone, usually free is there. Some people, it does not happen like that, or they don't have a good free. It just is what it is. But usually somebody that's low on total testosterone, usually and free, they increase their testosterone, both levels come up.
I mean, you've seen tons more than I've ever seen, but
Yeah.
just going over this last year and a half or so, looking at
Yeah.
people, it seems like as they age, their free testosterone doesn't work as well from what I've seen. But again, I'm with
Doesn't.
these guys that are in the fitness industry, and
Yeah.
so yeah. And then
Even his IGF ones are
peptides
dark.
wise for him, Hercules potion.
I mean, yeah, I mean that could possibly. I mean, that could help with the IGF-1 and stuff like that. Free testosterone. Yeah, I don't know, but Hercules potion is definitely going to be one that's going to be good to help them optimize his performance for sure, 100%.
Yeah, because I'm thinking still, if I don't think the risk is worth the reward. I do want his free testosterone, and so we'll start thinking of remedies to try to help and do more research on that as well. But yeah, I don't want to hurt his total testosterone, obviously,
Right,
but I still
right.
want that whole gas of tank to work for him.
Absolutely, you want to utilize that tank of gas that's up there, that reservoir.
And then would HCG or something like that come into play, or would that hurt also the total free testosterone?
Um, it would raise total and free. I just, I don't want it to play with that testosterone, that total. It might come back a little bit lower. It might come back at 800 next time he tests or 700, and then I don't want to be upset at me. I had 1,000, and I'm like, oh,
Well,
well,
that's a good point you make, but doesn't that range slightly change? Because I know Clark Bartram again. I go back to him because he's a great reference for a guy that's
yeah.
60.
Let's see.
With his numbers have been as high as 840,
Yeah, 900.
but also on other tests they're as high as the high 600s. So they
Yep.
fluctuate quite a bit. Is
Yep.
that not a thing that testosterone levels fluctuate?
Absolutely, absolutely. Testosterone definitely fluctuates, especially from the morning to noontime. So the next thing you look at somebody's blood test is when they took this test, and it'll tell right on the blood test. And like his test was taken at 8:39 a.m. locally on 2/9. So for this, your testosterone levels are always going to be the highest in the morning. So when you wake up in the morning, that's why usually you get morning erections and everything like that. It's because your free and total testosterone are usually at the highest. And throughout the day, they start plummeting down, 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 down. So at that point, later in the day that you take a blood test, the lower those levels are probably going to be.
Okay, because I'm curious on this. Is that I think my point was that 1,000 is great, but wouldn't 800 with a large range of free testosterone be better than 1,000 and your free testosterone's in the tanker?
I would say so.
Yeah,
I mean, I would for sure, 100%. I definitely would. I mean, but some people, like I said, mental, they get hooked on that number, and that's what they think they're going to need to stay at to be able to perform what they're doing. But that's not true.
What would John do if John's
I would
numbers
definitely.
was 1,000 and your free was at 9? Would you go, hey, I'm cool with a number of 6 or 7 where my free testosterone is at the peak of what it could be?
I mean, I would like to be at the peak for sure, optimal. I guess it would come back down to the person and, what kind of shape are they in? Are these guys like diced, like cover model, ready to go people? And if they are, do you think that they need to change? Because I don't want to ever push somebody into something that they don't want to do. But, at that point, you could optimize and probably be better. So, for that, I would say, listen, if I was 50 years old, I would do whatever I had to do to optimize my best levels. Let's just put it like that. So if I had to optimize free testosterone, I had to lose a little bit of total. It is what it is. I would probably do that. Because you know what? I'm 50 years old. So if my total testosterone starts really tanking down after the treatment, then I guess it is what it is, and I have to take testosterone because I don't have it. But
That's a great point.
It really is a choice of the person. But I would optimize and go that route and live my best life and make sure I could do what I want to do and keep progressing.
That makes perfect sense to me. It seems like you're at 50 at this point. So what are you waiting for at that stage? You're only going to decline more.
30, 40 years? Yeah, I mean, live at your best. I mean, at that point.
Well, that's a great question. Can the free test be too high? If your testosterone level's in a great range.
I mean, I don't think free testosterone is going to be too high. It is going to hurt you. DHT levels and stuff like that. Now, talking about male pattern baldness and all that stuff. Now, this could be a factor if your testosterone levels are too high. There's other things that could
They both
possibly
have
happen
great
cardiovascular.
hair. The guys we're talking
And
about, it's crazy. The guys we're talking about both have great hair, and they're Clark's 60 and has,
Oh,
he's
yeah,
Kurt Russell hair. It's like
yeah,
Escape from New York,
yeah, that's
and
the guy
the,
too.
and
He's
the
got a
other
full
guy
set
has
of
great
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
So that kind of interesting. That probably their DHT is very low. Then,
if they're natural, it's normal. Usually, your
yeah,
body is, it's balanced, and at that point, it doesn't start getting off balance until you start introducing things into it to make it off balance. If that makes any sense.
and this goes back to
So
why I think most uh, bodybuilders that do a large amount go bald in their early 20s. Like besides genetics, and we remove all that, but
yes, yeah.
besides that, it's that's why the similarity.
It really
I
does
see some
play
of
a
the people on here, they're commenting. They say, well, hopefully, when I'm going to be in my 50s, I'm going to start using it a small
yeah,
dosage. But you don't know if you don't check your blood work, you might need it right
right.
now.
The second,
Like the second. It's not that because you're
It's
getting
true.
old now, you need tests. Like Clark Bartram, he's 60, he doesn't need it.
Yep.
His
Yep.
testosterone level was 900 almost. But we
That's
have
awesome.
guys, they're like 30 and they absolutely need it because their test was like a 300. So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter really the age. Yeah, of course it does, because as you get older,
Yeah.
obviously the levels drop. But even if you're
Yeah.
30 or 35 or you whatever, you have to check the blood work. That way you kind of have an idea if your body needs it or not. And you only
Yeah.
obviously will be subscribed from Type Medical if you need it. They're not going to give you anything
That's
that you
right.
don't need. Trust me, I
That's
have
right.
proof.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
We just
I,
want to do
I
right by
love
the
that.
patient. Yeah.
Right,
That's what it's
Johnny?
all about. That's right. That's definitely right, Mona. I definitely want to make sure
Uh,
people are taken care of.
Um,
so go ahead, Jeff.
I was gonna say about you were saying in the morning if you do the test, your numbers will be a little bit higher.
Yep.
And later on in the day they'll go a little bit lower. So like
Yep.
outside of like consistently taking a test at like the same time, what time do you recommend? Do you recommend to just do that in the morning when the numbers will be a little bit more, or to get like that truest
Do
reading?
do the blood test.
Yeah.
So you want the truest number and the highest number. You're gonna blood test in the morning. If you
Yeah.
want to be consistent with what you're doing, I would blood test the exact same time as on the follow up. That way, you're going to be consistent with what's going on timing wise, and then you can do dosage too to make sure that you're at the same point. You were, you're dialed in. Once you're dialed in, if you're taking the medication consistently at that time and scheduled, you'll be set, and you shouldn't be fluctuating anywhere else.
Oh, that's if you suggest doing the blood test first thing in the morning or later.
ooh,
Because the numbers were, he said the numbers
right,
were
it's
higher in the morning.
ridiculous, right?
It will be lower in the, so
I mean,
Right.
because think about it. A lot of people have low T. They get up in the morning, and then I'll give myself an
Oh
example. I have low
wow,
T. I get up in the morning and just do whatever I needed to do. But at that point, you know, once you get introduced to testosterone and you need it and you use it, you're gonna be like, oh, sun's gonna be shining on you.
that's an interesting. I mean, this is a silly kind of thing, but you sit there, and maybe some of these people that go to see the doctor, the family doctor, and their ranges are 450, right? And they did their test in the morning, but they don't realize by late afternoon, if they did the blood test, it's like Clark Bartram drops a couple hundred,
Yeah, yeah,
and it's their levels at 250.
yeah.
So that's an interesting insight on that.
Well, that's why the guys with low testosterone want to come home and go to sleep. They go lay on the couch. It's not that they don't want to spend time with the family, the wife, do all those things or do something for themselves. They're just beat and exhausted. So that's the first thing they do, man. There's like, wife's like, "What are you doing? You going to sleep again?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just exhausted." Strong people mentally will get it done no matter what. Low testosterone, whatever. It doesn't matter. You're just wired that way, and you're going to take care of your responsibilities. But after all that's said and done, prioritizing after that, you're going to probably sleep or pass out, and not have the energy that you want to have, for sure. 100%. Been there, done that.
And most people, I think, because they're living their own lives, is that they realize when they're 35 or 40 or 45, definitely 50s, that they should be fatigued and completely zonked after work, and they come home and they cut it off, and they don't realize it might not be their work, it's just how their body is functioning at this point.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, and you shouldn't have to feel like that. That's not how it should be. You shouldn't have to feel like that. There's plenty of guys out there that are 50 years old, 60 years old, that are banging it out, man. I mean, they're out doing 20-year-olds. So, if they can do it, so can you.
I keep going back to like Robbie Robinson.
Yeah.
Like Robbie comes into that. And again, if you didn't know he's 80, the way he walks in like a freaking,
It's better than a
he
25-year-old.
walks in like a freaking Clydesdale walking in. Get out of his way.
Yeah.
He's coming in, he's taking that bench.
Yeah.
But it's cool to see that. Oh, like we always say when we train together, our testosterone levels going up just because we're around each other.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. It's so motivating to see. I mean, it is what it is.
So going back to this one guy for a second, because I think he's very opinionated when it comes to this. That he doesn't want to go down that road to optimize his health. What kind of things though he could do, peptides wise, to help him? I think the Hercules potion, maybe the injectable L-carnitine. I think the those other things there too, peptide wise right now. And then also he's achy, little owies and elbows and knees.
Yeah.
He's again in his 50s, and so anything to do those. Is there a recommendation that you can give for a starter kit in a sense for him?
Yeah. So what I would recommend doing probably would be BPC 157, TB 500, healing package together, do Hercules potion, do that before the strenuous activities, the workouts, get the optimal performance there. And then depending on if he wants more energy, this is kind of where, it's kind of curtailed to the patient of kind of what they need and what they want and what they're looking for result wise too as well. Because at that point, I would probably put them on Titan Complete, which has your B complex, B12, all three of your branched chain amino acids in it. L-carnitine is also in that, and MIC, methionine, and acetylcholine. So Titan Complete, Hercules Potion, BPC 157, TB 500. I think that would be a good starting point for him. If there was other things that he maybe wanted to do, I'd maybe do IGF-1, maybe CJC with ipamorelin. That would definitely help with lean body mass, leaning up, the anti-aging effect, kind of what he's going for. And I think that would be a good starting point. And to say, hey, listen, where are we going right now? Where's this bus taking us? Is it taking us to building mass? Are we trying to cut up more? And then, we want better vitality? You want better sexual vitality? What are you trying to do? And then kind of go there and then add on little building blocks as we go along that journey.
Is there injectable glutamine?
Is there injectable glutamine? I think there's glutamine in the Hercules potion and stuff. Yeah.
So, the reason I did Hercules potion, I put 9 components in there. And the reason I did this is because before, all you could get from the pharmacy was the single component. So imagine giving yourself 9 injections.
No.
You don't want to do that. That's not optimal.
No.
Like I give myself 4 or 5 injections a day. No normal person out there usually does that. If they do 1 a day, I'm good. Maybe some do 2, but when you start talking about that, so that's why I combined all these things together, because you get so much bang for your buck in the 1 injection, and you don't have to do the 9 different injections to get all these components into one. So that's really where the winner's at. And on some of these things, if you take Titan Complete, the only overlapping thing that's in there is L-carnitine. So if you doubled up on that, that's not going to do you any harm. It's only going to do you good, for sure.
I'm gonna jump off of the blood work that you have, and I'm gonna finish up with this young stud 30-year-old.
Young blood.
I hope he's still out here watching. I told him to tune in today because we're gonna talk about his blood work. We're gonna talk about a guy that is overweight, well overweight. We won't say the names.
No, we can't say the name.
We can't say the name, but
only if they allowed us.
He's a good 60, 70 pounds overweight. but he's also in his 50s. Is there anything like a Hercules potion? Oh, carnitine. Come on now, stop laughing. No, I would like him to do something. Okay, okay, all right, all right. Yeah,
Listen,
somebody
if we
cut.
give him
Okay,
tirzepatide or semaglutide, he's golden.
that's gonna help him, right?
Oh
And you
my,
know what
weight
else is going
loss.
to help?
Listen,
Diet.
that's the ace.
Yeah.
That's the ace in
I
up the sleeve. I'm
I
telling
know
you.
you want to help
he
them.
he likes to drink a little bit.
All
Is
right,
it
Heath
still?
Evans, we're talking about you again.
No.
I'm joking. I'm
But
That's
joking.
all right. You can still take
can
this.
he still enjoy his weekends? Um,
Yes.
okay, I mean, this is a guy that I've tried to talk to about dieting and so on and
I
so
mean,
forth,
try to
but
talk to for the past 25
25
years.
years, man.
It's gonna it's gonna make dieting easier. Let's put it
Okay,
that
There you
way.
go.
will it keep
So
him content instead of
it
running
will keep
out?
him content. He will not be fiending for any food. Let's put it that way. He'll be wanting not to eat that much food, and when he does eat, he'll pick better portions, guaranteed.
See,
And
that's
even if he
I think
puts
that's
everything on his plate,
golden.
he's not gonna be able to finish it.
I think that's just great information. I think, and again, it's oh, he doesn't have to change much of his lifestyle. I wish he would, but
Yeah,
listen,
me too.
everybody that's watching this, I don't endorse him not changing his lifestyle. I wish he
Right,
would, especially because of the age now. But
right.
again, he doesn't. It's not there yet. So I think this process of doing that step might help him get there without him even knowing.
It will definitely.
So that's a
You know,
that's a huge thing.
I just seen Sharon Osbourne was talking about it. She lost 43 pounds, and she doesn't, Ozzy I guess doesn't like the way she lost so much weight and stuff like that. So, I mean, it works.
Yeah.
It really these medications are like they're superheroes in their own sense, for sure, as far as
That's
helping people.
Right. Um, yeah, I have a question about the NAD. I
Here we
think it's
go.
NAD. I
Yeah,
have
yeah.
not used it yet. I have the
First, will you
NAD.
explain what NAD is?
Sure. So, NAD is a coenzyme, and it's in every living cell of your body. What it does is it basically increases ATP in the body. It helps with cellular rejuvenation of cells
There
that
you go.
deteriorate or are deteriorating in the body. It's great for a multitude of different things, from anti-aging, protecting your DNA from disruption or destruction at that point, and also it helps out with mental clarity and natural energy throughout the day. So,
That's why I
you
got
know,
it.
you take this stuff,
Mental clarity.
you should be laser focused in. Depending on what the dose is that you take, you'll feel it kick in, like literally feel it kick in. So,
Is there a
uh,
different dose that you can take? And I don't know if anybody out there knows
yeah,
this, but this is like the big buzzword right now
Right.
for longevity. And a lot of these companies are coming out now and really pushing supplementation called NAD
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of this right now. So I don't know if anybody's done research on it, but take a look into this. And again, feel free to call over to Titan Medical and talk to them about this. But this is like a big,
I
big,
think everybody should be on NAD. I mean, just
it's a
listen to
game
all the
changer.
benefits. My gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It's got so many different benefits. It's so good for you health wise. Your
Yeah.
body produces it naturally too as well, so it's nothing foreign to the body.
but it does
It just
decrease
depletes
as you age, right?
as you age, as you get sick, if you drink alcohol, if you smoke, all these different things deplete that and glutathione in the body. So at that point, you don't want to get to those levels. You want to make sure you replenish your body as far as that goes. And you'll feel amazing. You definitely will feel amazing with NAD. And like I said,
I'm
mental clarity
starting that
wise,
today.
different doses for different things you want to accomplish. If you want to do a daily maintenance dose, you can do that. If you got some important meeting or somewhere where you got to be really on point, you can take a little bit of a higher dose.
There you go.
And like I said, you'll feel it kick in, and you'll be like, and you'll be on point all day long for sure.
Now,
I
this goes
I
back to I know that you
mhm.
want to start that today.
I want to start that today, and I just wasn't sure how to take it, so I got to go through when. What's the best time to take it? I believe it was the evening or morning.
I would take it in the morning
Morning. Okay. Okay.
because it gives you energy.
Got
It'll
you.
give you like natural energy in the ATP rush. So I would do it in the morning.
And
Bunch
clarity.
of good
Yeah,
workouts too
I
as well
mean,
with
I
that.
really need that. That it's worth the poke. I hate injections. I would absolutely do that. It's worth the injection on that.
So there you go. I
So
know that
yeah,
Mary, that we talked about earlier, is started her first shot of testosterone and
Yeah.
NAD, and then Mona is going to
starting
start today. So
after I'm off
So
this life.
Mona,
she,
I'm getting it right in there.
depending on how much you take of that injection, I always tell people what's going to happen is you might have a little tightness and warmness in your chest. Don't freak out. People freak out if you don't tell them. Like, oh my God, I had an allergic reaction. I'm dying or something like that. Everything will be fine. So I just want
Oh,
to
good,
make sure
good
you
for bringing
understand
that
that.
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
so how do you inject this?
It's a good
Is this,
So I have
disclaimer,
to
right?
tell
Like,
you.
oh my
is this
God.
right into the muscle or to the
Yeah,
skin?
you can do it. You
What
can
is
do
it?
it IM or you can do it subcutaneously. You're gonna want to do probably about 30 to 40 units probably to start to see how you feel. That should give you a good little inkling of how it should be. I usually take probably about 50 to 60 myself. So you can work your way up. Just get a feeling of how it is, and I think you're really gonna like it. And obviously, it's gonna have a ton of health benefits for you.
There we go. Write that down.
Hmm.
Let's revisit that next week. I'm so curious to see.
Johnny's gonna get a message from me as soon as we hang up here.
Well, the
Me
one great
too.
thing
Me
is,
too.
I don't know if anybody knows this, there is a thing that goes along with pregnancy called baby fog. And it usually
Yeah.
affects the mother after the baby is born and stuff. And Mona has felt like she has had that brain fog. And so this is one of the big things that I know that we talked to you guys about her forgetting things and so on. So this will be interesting to see not just the health benefits from it, but also that baby fog. That's a
Yeah.
legit thing.
Yeah, it is
Yep.
legit, but it also comes in handy.
Yeah, it does.
Babe, you didn't do that. Oh, baby song. All right,
Good
I
baby
love it.
out of
I
it.
love it. I'm gonna start that ASAP actually.
Me
I
too.
have another
Get it from
question
Mary.
for you, John.
Sure.
So TB 500 and BPC 157, we all know if you have an injury, these are perfect to recover for recovery.
Right.
Do these injections have to be shot directly into the injury? Or which one of these are going into the injury? Can you just explain that bit briefly?
Sure. Sure. So BPC 157 is more BPC 157 is more site specific, and TB 500 works systemically throughout the body.
There you
Either
go.
one of these, you don't really want to inject directly into the injured area. You can, I mean, like if it's a tendon, or you don't want to direct subcutaneously. You want to inject closest to the injury of the area. So at that point, you can combine them both in the same syringe, and you can inject them both subcutaneously closest
Oh
to that
wow.
area.
That's great. That's
Real
great.
simple,
Yeah,
real easy.
good to know. Thank
Yeah.
you for that. I didn't know that.
Of
For you
course,
guys out there too, are
it's easy.
both of those available right now over at Titan Medical?
Yes, yes, both are
Awesome.
available right now.
So for anybody that's out there that has injuries or want to be preventative, like I try to live that, make sure to get your order in for that right now. And then obviously the NADs are such a big, big thing. I understand that you guys are having a sale this week though.
Yes, so on
On
Peptide and stuff like that, we got $25 off
Nice.
of that. Or I'll tell you what, I mean, if anybody mentions the show, they can get $25 off their NAD order.
whoa,
Whoa.
whoa,
NAD. I like
whoa,
saw this
Jeffrey,
on
hit that
extra.
right there. Put that up on there. Put that up on the feed. I love
That way
that.
I can, if you want to try it, because Mary says she's doing 50 units 3 times per week. So I wonder how she's done her injections, if she's done her injections yet, and how she's feeling.
Mary, you're doing 50, and that's an NAD. Is that something you take daily, or like Mary's doing 3 times a week is good? What's the
Yeah,
reckoning?
you don't have to take it daily. If you There's 1,000 milligrams that come when you reconstitute the medication, and you can break that 1,000 units up to however you want to use it. Right? If you want to spread it out and have it work for the month, then that's when you do it only a couple times a week. If you really got, you got to study all week, you got finals coming up, you got a big business venture you need to do, and you need to stay up for a week and you need to take this every day, you can take it every day. So you can take it every day. You can do maintenance dosing if you want to. It's totally up to the person that's
What would a
doing it
maintenance
at that
dose
point.
be on a daily 15, 20, like
Daily?
that range.
Yeah, 15, 20 units. Let's probably do like 20 units, 5, 10. I'd have to do the calculation on it, but probably about 20,
I
twenty
feel
five
like
units.
this is like the movie
I would do
Limitless with
25
Bradley
units probably.
Cooper.
Oh yeah.
You start taking NAD and you start getting these problems and playing chess in 2 seconds. This is like limitless.
We used
I
to call
think we
it the
should
limitless
get.
drug.
Is it really?
That's what we used to call it limitless. Yeah, we used to call it limitless, and because that's the kind of feeling that you get, the laser
See,
focus.
I got tingles.
You know,
I'm thinking the right path here. I love that, and I
you
did
are.
not know that.
There's
I got
there's
Joe
one
from
other.
Pantis on here, but I want to say,
Oh
Joe, you better get to Titan Medical and get your blood work done. Piedmontese,
yeah,
Joe Piedmontese. We
Piedmontese,
have the celebrity, and also somebody likes to rub it in on me that he got his Christmas tree and his Christmas
Joe,
house.
hey,
Joe runs Piedmontese over there, which is the beef you guys know we
the
live
best,
by.
the
The
best.
incredible, and we got to send Johnny some
Yeah,
filet.
Joe, we gotta send Titan
Oh my
Medical
gosh,
some stuff, man. We gotta send them a box,
oh
Joe. Uh,
man.
yeah. Now
everything
we're
they have,
talking.
it's amazing.
But let's get him over there. That way,
Yeah.
he could also be jacked. Besides having the Christmas stuff up early,
But John eats like steak,
John
plain
eats
steak all the
steak
time.
daily.
Yeah,
Every day,
That's my
all
boy.
day. You know it.
He does need a
I
tomahawk,
know,
right?
I know.
That being said, let's finish this on a strong note. I have a young 30-year-old that just got his blood work again over at Titan Medical and had his discussion with the wellness provider and everything. And we haven't got to the point where he's received his recommendation. But I was just looking over. He wanted me to look over, which is nice. All these Titan crew members love to send over their blood work to me and have me look at it. Now, I'm not an expert at all, but the one thing I do get to see is it's pretty simple to read. The I saw that there was some buns. His creatinine levels were a little high and stuff like that. Is there a recommendation that you find to take care of this?
Lucas. Yeah, so I see the bun creatinine ratio was a little high, but his EGFR, which is his kidney functions, was at 82, which is pretty good. At that point, listen, this could be just a little minor dehydration. Totally
So
fixable.
nothing to stress about.
Nothing to stress about at all. I mean,
Great.
listen, he drinks
Good.
some water, retest this, he should be fine. I mean, the EGFR looks good too as well. So I mean, like I said, that should be like minor. Um, Everything else, I mean, as far as that goes, even his glucose looked all right. And then we looked at the CBC, with complete blood cell count, which is the above test. Everything looked good too there as well. ALT, AST, his liver enzymes, everything looked good there. His cholesterol, so his HDL was the only thing that was out of by 1 point out of whack, by 1 point lower. But his total cholesterol was good. Triglycerides were great.
So for the
LDL great.
yeah, for his HDLs, so probably incorporate a little bit more healthy fats into his diet.
Avocado, he eats one of those a day. I mean, but if you look at his ratio too, his LDL to HDL ratio.
Oh my God,
it's
the
at
total is
2.4, it's a lower test. It's
I think
great.
the total is 145, and I think they want you below 200, 199 or something. It's like
Yeah, his
incredibly
total cholesterol.
great. But it also gives us a range on how we can manipulate and change his diet to make him even healthier. So I do like that.
Yeah, no,
But
it's nice. I mean, when we looked at his thyroid, at that point, it's all within range. But I like to see that thyroid, the TSH a little bit lower. It's in
right, I
normal
noticed
range.
that.
But I would like to have that a little bit lower. I think if he had that a little bit lower, he'd probably be a little bit leaner. He'd be metabolizing a lot faster. His IGF-1 211, 290 is the top of the range. That's a decent score. It's not bad. Usually people are within halfway, the middle of the road when it comes to IGF-1 numbers. So his IGF-1 looks good. So we go back down to the testosterone and the free. So
Take a look at that free testosterone again, because his
totals,
testosterone is decent. It's great.
yeah. I mean, but for his age,
Okay, all right.
I think at 35 years old, you're gonna want an 800 at least. But 637 is okay. That's reputable. But when we go down to the free testosterone at 10, this guy's probably having some low testosterone symptoms, whether it's energy or maybe brain function. I don't know. I don't know the guy, but it could definitely be some issues there. So, with this guy, it really comes down to how are you feeling and what symptoms are you having. Because that's what the medical provider is going to look at, not just the numbers. She's going to talk to
Right.
the patient too, and look at the paperwork and make the correlation of what she wants to do or what he wants to do, treatment wise. So I mean, you could definitely optimize that for sure, 100%. I mean, this is something where you could optimize it because you're at 637. Even if you just optimize the free on a treatment to see if that pushes up, see where your total is going to be. If it goes down a little bit, okay, well I need to go on testosterone anyway, probably. So at that point, that'll knock out two birds with one stone.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was noticing too, and curious. Now, I will speak. I do know him, and I know he is a savage. And again, one of these guys that eats well and trains well, and also, from my interactions throughout time, he keeps his cortisol level pretty content. He's a very happy guy, always good mood, and
Nice.
always moving and grooving. And so again,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see how he feels and if there's something that's there. But again, here's another one that could probably do the Hercules potion, the IGF, to help to get those
Absolutely.
workouts even a little bit more intense.
Absolutely. And if he needs a boost of energy, ECA Stack Plus. There you go.
There we go.
Ephedrine, caffeine, aspirin, B12, and chromium. And it's definitely going to get you going for sure.
I'm writing that down too. I love it. I love it.
That
So
one help, that one will help you stay lean and give you energy. So
that's not what you need. That's what I need,
No.
though.
Yeah, I don't need that. I'm good. I just need the NAD right now.
NAD for Mona.
That's all I need right now.
Johnny, this was so helpful today, man. You really helped some. We pinpointed some people, and then again, for anybody that was watching, the people that did their blood work, they're not crazy bad, but they can still optimize their health so much. And I think that's what I really wanted to bring to this. And then again, we started off with Mary, who I am grateful to Titan Medical for on helping her live a better life. So I know she's had a lot of issues and stuff, and I think it's great seeing somebody with such passion for health and fitness to push it like she's doing and go through.
oh yeah,
Yep.
that's
So
awesome.
thank you, Titan Medical. Thank you,
Thank you
Johnny.
guys. I appreciate it. Mary, definitely let us know
Guys,
how
make
everything
sure
is
you
going.
get there. Today, you get a discount from NAD and all the other products that they have $25 off. Let's go.
Yep. Let's go for sure. I
Get over
appreciate
there.
you guys.
Mention the
Thank you
show
guys for the
today.
time.
Johnny, what do we got going on for Titan Medical the rest of the week?
Oh. Tirzepatide. So Tirzepatide, there's $25 off that too as well. That therapy package. It's an 8-week therapy package that's usually $650. So you'll get it for $625, and you're probably not going to find it anywhere more inexpensive than that anywhere in the country. So jump on it while you guys can. If you guys are looking for weight loss, that is the go-to for sure, 100%. No stimulants, and pretty much good for everybody across the board. Counterindication wise, the only thing is thyroid nodules or thyroid cancer. So if you don't have that, you're probably optimal and ready to go on Tirzepatide.
There you go.
There we go. I appreciate it, Johnny. I appreciate it. And then
Love
I'll
it.
have these guys again reach out. I think the 50-year-old gentleman that we were talking about needs to optimize his health and get that free testosterone fixed.
For sure.
I think that's something, if you're going to give that much time and want to be healthy and want to do the best life, you got to reach out and touch base with. Thank you for the merch as well. I cannot wait for the suits, the track
dude.
suits.
I can't wait to get those suits to you. I don't know if they should have went out already. I'm gonna check with Destiny as soon as I'm done with this.
And then we are also expecting how would you call it, Jeffrey? A gift box for enhancement in the bedroom.
Oh yeah.
So I'll get back to I'll do studies on that and get back to you and tell you how that is.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear the feedback on that.
So for you guys out there too, they are fully prepared to help you not just optimize your health, but also take care of everything else as well.
That's right.
Thanks,
That's your
Johnny.
health too. Later, guys.